Hey guys, Shane here, so welcome to part 2 of my M8 Greyhound build, and in this video we're going to be focusing on detailing the turret. So we're going to start off by assembling the two halves of our turret, which we've already painted and weathered in the last episode. And the first detail we're going to start adding are replacement tie downs. So these are from Tiger Model Design, which are these lovely resin tie down eyes. So we're going to start off by removing the kit's molded on ones, which are just basically little nubs of plastic. So once we have our original parts removed, we're just going to take some liquid CA glue and I'm going to start dipping our tie downs into the glue and start affixing it to the turret. These are kind of fragile, but if you take your time they are not too difficult to install, and as you can see they make a massive difference to the overall detail of the turret. So we're going to continue working on the fittings for our turret here. So this is the machine gun ring, or the skirt ring for the machine gun. So we're going to add some very basic weld seam details to our mounting brackets for the machine gun ring. So these are just a bit of stretch sprue. I stretched it out as thin as I could, and I'm just going to affix it with a little bit of Tamiya extra thin. And then I'm just going to float a bit of extra thin over the stretch sprue, and once it becomes soft and malleable, I'm going to start sculpting our weld beads with a sharp X-Acto or scalpel blade. And our weld seams are done. It's a nice simple little detail technique, but it really does add a lot to the detail of our turrets. So now we're going to start adding one of the more prominent aspects to the turret, which is the cast texture. And for this we're going to use some mr.surfacer 1500. And I'm going to start applying this with an old brush. I'm going to lay it down in a moderately thick coat. I don't want to put it down too heavily, as we're going to slowly start building it up. But I am laying it down quite wet, as you can see here. I'm literally just painting it onto the surface, but as I'm painting it I'm also somewhat stippling as I'm painting it on, and this is going to impart a very nice cast texture. And I'm just going to keep building this up in subsequent layers, stippling as I go. Any areas I want to remove the mr.surfacer from, I'm just going to take a little bit of lacquer thinner and moisten a brush with it, and I'm just simply going to remove any excess. So I'm just removing it from any areas I don't want to impart a cast texture onto. So there you have our cast texture now. I added a few nice layers, and now we have a very nice rich cast texture to add our next set of detailing to. So now I'm going to start adding some cast markings to our cast details, and for this we're going to be using the foundry marking set from Archer Fine Details. So these are basically a 3D decal that behave just like any other type of water slide decal or decal, and I'm just going to take a little bit of microsol. I'm going to prepare our surface, then I'm going to apply our various cast numbers just like any decal, and I'm just going to blend it back in with a little bit of microsol just so it will adhere to the cast texture that we've just laid. So I have the cast textures now added. It's a very small and subtle detail, but it's very nice to add it, as it does add a lot of extra realism to our turret. So now I'm going to continue adding the final fittings to our turret. Again, just using extra tin to carefully affix them in place. So now we're going to affix our turret basket, again just using a little bit of extra tin here. And we're also going to add our turret mantlet. So a big detail factor on any US or Allied vehicle is the 50 cal machine gun, and as you can see here on the kit's original, it's very rough, so we're going to replace that with an Asuka model aftermarket set. So these are the best plastic 50 cals on the market, as they are absolutely fantastic and they will make all the difference to the final look and feel of your model. I'm just going to start assembling this. As you can see, it's immensely well detailed. You can have the barrels off, you can have the dust cover up or closed. It's, or should I say, the top cover for the ammo belts. Immensely well detailed and far, far better than the kit's original part. Now I'm going to start assembling the ammo can. Again, there are slightly nicer ones available in the market in resin. However, as plastic 50 cals and brackets go, these are immensely nice. These can be a little bit fragile, so just take your time lining everything up. It is kind of easy to misalign things if you're not careful. So we're now going to start adding the chains for the retaining pins for the 50 cal mount. And here we're just going to take some very fine photo etched chain. This is from Voyager. I'm just going to anneal it by just running a flame over the photo etch chain till it turns maybe a purpley colour. And that's just going to make it very easy to bend and hold the shape. And I'm just going to fix it with a little bit of liquid CA glue to the two areas here, the two pins on the opposite side to the ammo can. And this is basically to retain the mounting pins for the 50 cal on its cradle. and I'm just going to cut them and bend them to shape like you can see here, and it's a very simple and effective way to add just that little bit of extra detail to the 50 mount. And there you have our turret ready to go. So I know this has been a bit of a shorter episode. I'm actually currently in the process of changing and moving my workshop, so I hope you guys don't mind a slightly shorter episode. However, the next few episodes are going to be back to their normal 30-minute length. So I really hope you enjoyed this little video for how to add a little bit extra detail to your M8 Greyhounds. So very simple techniques, but you can see they can add a lot of fine detail, and they're quite easy to do actually, and it's a lot of fun to add. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been Shane. Thank you so much for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.